I'm going to welcome you to the May 2026 Mid-Career Lab
It's going quick, man.
monthly Q&A. Can't believe it's May already. Can't believe it's 2026.
No way.
But that's another conversation. So welcome, everyone. So the topic this month, I'll just kind of jump in energetically. The topic this month is the superpower. And I wanted to, and Marty has some updates for us. So I want to get to Marty first. But before we do that, I want to just, so we can burn this into our brains, I want to share this definition of the superpower so that we can kind of frame this and be on the same page for the discussion today. The combination of skills, experiences, insights, practices, values, and deliverables that define the value you offer to prospective employers, clients, and colleagues. So that really is what I mean when I talk about this. It is really increasingly, as I look at this methodology and work with people, it is really the cornerstone of everything, because in my three elements of philosophy here, if you have set up that superpower as may be amended, this really leverages your ability to build a network, build a community of shared interests around that value that you deliver. It also really is the foundation for your thought leadership, for the way that you brand yourself, for how you present yourself to the broader world, to bring more people into your community, to bring more people to focus on the value, to figure out how to connect you to the opportunities. So it is really a crucial aspect of our career development for as long as we're going to be in our career. So end of rant. I'm going to take that off, and then we can jump into our conversation. But anyone want to just comment on that or ask me any questions about that before we get going?
I would just offer up, it's an interesting angle at it, John, right? Because it's not as if, when we think about our superpower, we might just think about specific experiences. But in terms of it's the confluence of values, insights, experiences, skills, and how does that translate into a definable superpower? It's just my only comment is it's an interesting angle and perspective on and really trying to find that link amidst all of it.
Right.
So
yeah, no, thank you for that. And I think for me, it answers the question that comes up a lot, which is, how do I differentiate myself? I'm a marketing executive. I'm a operations person. I'm in sales. I'm in product development. I'm a program manager. I mean, whatever these fields that we work in, how do I stand apart from someone else who does exactly the same thing, who's going to be going up for this same open position? And that is, I think, where the work that we need to do on the superpower comes in, because, as you say, it is that confluence. And I always respond that other people may do what you do, but no one does it quite the way that you do it. So that's really where you're going to find your traction and build rapport with the people who need you to do the work. So thank you for that.
I think another important part of that, or use of it, is to remind yourself that you have it. And when you're feeling like, how can I ask this person to consider me?
That's great.
Remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It is. It's almost like you want to have that on a plaque, right? Somewhere sitting above your computer, so that you can remind yourself of what that value is. Sally, you had a comment.
Yeah, it's just I thought it might be quite an obvious one, but I find that once I've defined my superpower in interviews which I've had over the last few months, it's been a very good way of answering the question. So tell me about yourself. So I could say I'm a corporate communications manager, or I could reel through my CV, but no interviewer wants to hear that. So I say I'm an external I'm a communications manager, primarily specializing in external communications. And my real ability is to turn complex topics into, let's say, language that lands with everyday people, something like that. So,
Yeah.
and that's not all that I do, but that would be what I do in a nutshell. And then the rest
Yeah.
of the interview, we can go on to give examples of what I do in detail. So I think defining the superpower really helps for
Yeah.
that part of the interview.
Yeah. Thanks. So I want to give Marty the floor. I'm not sure if those of you guys, Sonya, Tim, maybe Jason, who joined a little bit later, do you see this in your chat? Because Marty uploaded a couple of he uploaded a
I do not.
statement. Marty, could you repost that?
The text.
Repost the text. Do you see the picture as well, the photo?
I do not.
Why don't you repost everything?
I see
Okay.
both John and Marty.
You do, yeah, because you joined, you were already on the call.
Oh,
All right,
I
I beg your
posted the
pardon.
text.
John's
Let
way
me-
of gently shaming those of us who are late. So thank you.
No,
I posted,
no, I should have
reposted
waited. I should have asked Marty to wait for everyone to be here before posting. So that's,
Oh,
I'll take the hit on that.
Sorry, I sounded like a goody by saying I can see it. I didn't mean to.
I reposted the text. Now I'm just
Right.
looking for the picture again.
Right. Anyway, so for those of you who were on a call last month, you recall that Marty was on his way to DC to a conference on Ukraine, and as a documentary filmmaker who has a film on Ukraine that focuses on people. It's a wonderful wonderful documentary that really gets into the personal aspects of this war. So what's the report? I'm just going to read this through. Just spent a week in DC advocating for Ukraine, showing some excerpts from my documentary, Congressmen, Senators, Foundation Supporting Ukraine, lots of participants who support Ukraine, a lot of brief encounters, contacts. Okay, how do I follow up and turn this into support for the film, financing, producing partners, a feature, editor, distribution? So first of all, who are you? Okay, so you're there with Adam Schiff, and is that Rob Bonta? Is that?
No, it's Padilla, the other
Oh, it's
senator.
Diaz. Yeah, of course.
The other two
Great.
senators.
Great.
So I think when we were talking last month, I was anticipating and concerned about the conflict because here I want to make an impact with the film. That's bottom
Right.
line.
Right.
And this summit was all about that, advocating to Congress. And they're very organized and very specific with certain bills. And they didn't know about my film or have it scheduled. And so it was how to use my film because it's supportive of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I found, time was tight, but a lot of receptive people. And when people got to see something, they were impressed and this is great. And and then there's some uptight people who say, we have a schedule and everything's programmed and forget it. So it was a challenge the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, obviously you made some progress, right? Which is great.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, when I got, like you get a meeting with a congressman, it's time is tight and, to get to show it. And often it's, you get a minute with the congressman and then they leave and it's their legislative person.
Sure. Right.
But,
and those are the people that are going to do the follow-up. Those are the people you want to make friends with.
yeah. Right. And,
right. So what's your follow-up plan? What have you done since then?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I'm love to get people's input on this on the call, but just off the top of my head, I would say you got to follow up with everyone. You got to see who do you actually have traction with, right? Ask them for ideas. Who do you know? What should I be doing next? What are the strong points of the film? What do you think is the most commercial aspect, or what struck you about it? I mean, you're now in research mode. You've established a kind of a pool of contacts, opportunities to learn more, to develop some threads towards meeting the goals that you state here.
Yeah.
The ball's in your court.
And it's uh yeah, and it's not like I have intimate relationships with people. It's like some of them are I go up and I present myself and it's about 30 seconds and they say, "Oh, that sounds interesting. Here's my card."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's all. And
Right. So, I mean, I think you need to have a follow-up package, right? To share with everyone on email with the links to the trailers and any uh, distribution plan, or whatever you've got.
yeah,
Um, Load it in.
yeah,
Put it up on your website for the film, right? I mean, you've got to now share to the world that you were there and that you talked to these people and you met these people. That in and of itself is credibility.
yeah,
To be able to post that picture that you have there with your two senators, uh, is that's credibility right there.
yeah. Like
So
you're really
bravo.
doing, yeah. But I've, I mean, your generation. I mean, I'm not used to social media, so like people who said, "Oh, you should be posting all along, all week, everything, take pictures." Well, I didn't. I was
Right. Well,
busy.
at least you got this picture,
Yeah. No,
right?
there's lots of pictures. So, and also, I guess, not to take too much time, but to target, like, okay, what do I need? I mean, um, like maybe the biggest thing is financing to finish the film. And of course, you
Mhm.
don't ask for money, you know.
Well,
You
not then.
No, but and the participants, well, congressmen and participants, that those aren't sources of financing. But
No,
there
they're
was,
connected to sources of financing. I mean,
oh
if
yeah,
they're legislators in the United States, they're connected to financing, right?
well, that's true. It's sort of how to approach that. Like I just went to my congressman's office
Right.
yesterday, Ted
Right.
Lieu, who's a
Right.
good guy and supporting Ukraine
Yeah.
and doesn't know about my film, so I gave material on that to his assistant. And, um, uh, it's yeah, I need to follow up to the people and
Yeah.
like there was like a representative of Westinghouse was presenting. So they're supporting Ukraine. So I thought, now that could be perfect,
You never know where the support is going to come from. You never
yeah,
know, right? There are people who are looking to spend money for whatever reason to either burnish their reputation, support a political agenda, support a social agenda. You know, there may be some foundation out there that's saying, we're spending all this money on humanitarian aid to the people of Ukraine, and we have nothing really we don't have any way to share what's going on the ground. We need to send someone over there with a camera to talk to people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Marty Olstein has already done it,
yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah,
right?
yeah. Uh,
Anyone else? Sally, Jason, Tim, Marianne, Harold, Sonia.
Marty, I'll just offer up. I am in fact a marketer, and as soon as you said, how would I approach this, I immediately go into like campaign mode. Right, this is a campaign, just
yeah,
like
That's right.
sorry, in like a job search, and that's a campaign. This is your effort is a campaign to get support behind the film to then obviously have an impact on what's going on in the world. I do think, as I just briefly read your chat, right? You have a lot of folks that you would like to connect with, from distributors to financiers. I do wonder if in you here would be my counsel is, I'm a very stepwise person, and it's prioritize, like what is that next step, who do you really need to talk with. And even in this moment, I thought your film was done, and I was like, oh gosh, who? But if your film isn't done, and I think you almost in your conversation with John prioritized who you want to reach out to, which is financiers, to get support, right, to finish the film.
Right.
Then
So
when,
we can make an
then when you
impact.
have it
They got to
finished,
finish it first.
then it's about getting it into, film festivals, etc. So the last thing I would just offer up to you is, as I think about my own like job search campaign, right? There's identifying, you know, 40 potential companies that I would be interested in working for. Do you right now sitting there have a list of 40 potential candidates of people who might want to invest in your film? Is it what John just described from, sort of global organizations that are already working in this space to folks who are dedicated to peace to, if you look up like on social media, past events that were focused on the conflict in Ukraine, who were those stars, those A-list stars who were at these events? I think about like the Jane Fondas of the world. Like they go to events that they want to support. And so do you have a list of 40 folks from organizations to people that might have an interest in financing something like this? If I were you, that would be the first thing I would do is generate that list. It's like,
Okay.
if I'm going to send a package to somebody, who am I going to send it to? Right?
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate
That would be job one, is figuring out, okay, who would be interested in what I'm doing?
Right. It's like, I guess I'm a little overwhelmed because, I mean, it's okay. I need to find people who care about Ukraine. Well, I just went to an event and mixed with 600 people that care about Ukraine. And, you know, some of them are like me, just interested to help, and some may be really connected. And it's going
Marty,
to,
is there a directory of attendees that you have?
I don't
People
have
you,
it, but I can ask
is it
for that.
available? Yeah.
Maybe,
Because
yeah.
another angle on this is that you can reach out to people who were there that you did not meet and say,
Oh,
I
yeah.
recently attended the conference. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to hook up with you, but I wanted to follow up after the conference as I had conversations with many people about my film,
Oh, yeah.
something like
That's
that,
good.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Even if
So
I didn't meet them, you're right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Fact is, you share this interest, and they may say, really upset that we didn't meet because this is exactly what I'm interested in pursuing. Let's have a conversation.
Oh, yeah. It was just
Uh,
like I only got to meet a handful of congressmen, of course, because of a
right,
few days, but
right.
um, they had someone from every state. So a lot of
I'm sure.
congressmen have been.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I just one other thing that you alluded to, that you were handed off to a legislative assistant, which is the norm. And as I said, you need to make friends with those people. Those are the people who get stuff done,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's never about access to the congressman or the senator. It's those people who are in charge of their legislative agenda that are the real gold contacts there for you. So I would do
Keep
a
them updated.
really strong campaign to tap those people, because these people can become, in my parlance, your personal board of directors here on this,
Oh, yeah.
or your de facto board of directors. You may find, and it only needs to be one person who goes, I'm going to make you my cause. This fits exactly into what the legislator wants. Me personally, I'm a big fan of this. I've been frustrated, whatever that might be. And now all of a sudden you're the mascot,
That's
right?
good.
And that
Yeah.
applies not just for the legislator group, but for all of the other stakeholders who were there, whether it was corporations, foundations, activists. I would put those categories together on your strategy sheet.
Right. Right.
And back to Tim's question about who are the top 40 people. Um, those top 40 people may all be strikeouts, right? You may go through those 40 people and not get a single bite. Now you got to make another list of 40 people.
Yeah. Right.
right?
Or ideally, those 40 turned into maybe 8 other contacts, and maybe it's one of those 8 that
Right.
Yeah.
That's really what you're trying to do. You're on a fishing expedition. The more people you meet, the more people you pitch to, the better your success rate is going to be, the better your pitch is going to become, because you're now going to have a much better sense of how you're being received. Marty, this is like Hollywood, right? You never sell a story on the first pitch, right?
No.
It always takes you at least a handful or a dozen different pitches before you get up to speed on what it is you're actually selling. That's when you make the deal. And this is no different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And your point about the assistant, I I think I had my attitude needs to be adjusted. I was like disappointed. Like I had a nice little conversation with Adam Schiff, and
Right.
then I was with the assistant, and the assistant watched the excerpt from my film,
Right.
will remember it.
Yes.
And I thought,
That's the
well, it's the
person.
assistant. Schiff didn't see it. But no, I should contact her.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she'll say to Schiff, hey, we should do something with this guy. And Schiff will say, yeah, fine, go do it.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah. Yeah. We could show
Marty,
that.
While I'm battling, someone on a committee hearing.
Right.
in a past life, Marty, I worked in a senator's office, and that's 100% who you need to be in
Oh,
touch with. Because, like, think about who has access to Schiff on a daily basis. It's that person that you were with. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah.
You're never
Yeah.
like trying to get Adam Schiff's attention. Good luck. Like,
Right.
you
You
know,
don't need Adam Schiff's attention.
No,
You
no.
need that woman's attention. And believe me, all of these people who are working in government have a very ambitious personal agenda.
Oh,
And if
oh,
your film fits into their ambition, oh, you're in good shape.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to frame this just briefly in terms of the superpower and suggest that you use that frame both to help you better define who you are in this equation and your identity in this project, as well as understanding what are the superpowers that you're looking for in the
Mm,
people that you're contacting, so that you have this clear understanding of your targeting through understanding what the superpower is.
mm.
Because, if you're looking for financing, well, you need someone who understands that business, who has access to capital, who's a, good negotiator, who is, got an expansive personality, who can pitch for you and understand how to navigate this space. Um,
Mhm.
all of these items on your wish list here, think of those in terms of what are those superpower sets that you're going to need to navigate. And then again, back to you,
Oh
how
yeah.
do you um, represent yourself to them in terms of what is your strength here? And I would just offer up, having seen your trailers, that you have this very uncanny ability to connect with the subject, with the people, and present and engage with them in a way that they're able to reveal personal stories in a very engaging and moving way. So, that kind of goes to your skill set here,
Well, thanks. Yeah. Um,
as well as your experience in the business, right? Because they're looking at you and going, I like this material that he's got, but what kind of a guy is he? And do I want to do business with him? And is he flaky or reliable? Is he going to show up? Is he going to be able to finish it if I raise the money? Um, do I need to put someone on to control him, to make sure he doesn't go rogue? All those kinds of questions are going to be coming up for them. So
oh yeah.
you want to be able to
Credibility.
present yourself in a way that builds confidence.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
hey, just one last thought for you, Marty. You brought up something key that you brought up is that you feel overwhelmed. And I would just say, right, that old idiom, how do you eat an elephant? Do you know how to eat an elephant?
One bite at a time, right?
One bite at a time.
Right.
So just slow, steady, prioritize. You met 600. Who are those 40? Like just prioritize and then be like, okay, package together what you have, reach out and optimize. But, just slow and steady wins the race.
Thanks. Yeah.
Great.
Just one thing John said that
Okay.
reminded me of something, how, they're doing work with Ukraine and they don't have anything to show for it. One of the big humanitarian aid groups I connected with in Ukraine told me that she she hates this, but the donors require photographs or video of the people getting the aid. And
Hmm.
it feels like, it can be humiliating, it can be embarrassing, but the donors require it. And it's a constant conflict she has. And and that's what I'm doing, shooting the film too. I'm
Yep.
showing them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
that's
can maybe be a bridge, right? Your footage can be a bridge where you're not, you're showing the kinds of people that they are reaching out to, not maybe the individuals. Just a thought.
right. No, it's good. Thanks.
Um, anyway, let's move on and open this up to further discussion. I know a couple people were. I think Jason and I were having a bit of a back and forth about what's going on with him, and anyone else. I know Harold and I have had a talk, and Sally and I continue to be in touch. What's going on, guys? How can we use this superpower conversation to further your goals and what's going on in your careers right now?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Good to be with you guys. This is always a great forum for bouncing ideas off each other, and it's always really supportive. So happy to be here. I have kind of a transitioning superpower story. So I have 20 plus years in the video game industry in product marketing and brand management, and had a great time in that industry, worked on some great products, etc., but decided I wanted to do something on my own. So I've started a home care agency on the west side of Los Angeles. And everything is set and ready to go to open, except I'm still waiting on my state license. And latest news is it's delayed and it's going to be a little while longer. So I've got all these expenses that are mounting, and I'm considering doing some temp work. And what first comes to mind is something like consulting work, marketing consulting work in the entertainment or video game space. I've actually reached out to about 10 different recruiting agencies that recruit for this kind of more temp work type scenarios. Haven't heard back from any of those guys yet. So I'm kind of wrestling with I think the value and the superpower that I bring to a temp work scenario is going to be predominantly based on my 20 years of experience, right? Rather than this new thing that I'm just getting going with. Um, but trying to figure out the best way to kind of approach this. Should I be reaching out to contacts? I mean, obviously, yes, LinkedIn page. LinkedIn page, I'm conflicted, right? Because I've got this new thing going with home care. And do I really want to flip that back to the video game sector and temporary work and all of that? Fractional work, I guess, is another term for it. So that's kind of the scenario I'm in. And looking for any thoughts, suggestions you guys might have for how to approach this. It would only be for about 2 to 3 months, I think, of temp work. And I feel like you need like most job searching, you need right time, right place. But I feel like I'm looking for a scenario where a team's behind on launching a product and they need extra help coming in, or their product marketing manager just left suddenly and they need someone to fill in, those types of scenarios, right? So that's
Yep.
what I'm trying to sniff out, but it's it's a little different.
What I'm looking for I don't have your LinkedIn profile up. What does your LinkedIn profile say about you right now?
Right now it says,
Do you
sheesh.
want to share it so we
Yes,
can take a look at it?
sure. Uh, okay. Any hop back? Sorry, guys. Sharing right now. Okay.
Right.
So I've got fractional product marketing leader in there, gaming, entertainment, tech available for 2 to 3 months engagements. Um, but also down below, I've got, my new home care piece as well.
Mm-hmm.
So slightly concerned that that's like a disjointed story.
Right.
Could you just define what home care is?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So home care is helping elderly with personal care and companion care
ah,
to keep them safe and independent in their own homes. So
mhm.
I hire caregivers to go in and take care of the elderly in their own homes as an alternative to, for instance, sending them to a nursing home or a facility of some kind.
Ah, I can talk to you more. I have a friend who exactly needs that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great money.
Yeah, should connect. So I'm gonna throw a curveball in on this. Maybe it's a curveball, maybe it's a fastball. Um, and that is that for the purposes of this short-term work that you're looking for,
Yeah.
that you scroll down to your experience section for a bit,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
that you put um, owner first light home care, that you put that into volunteering.
Okay.
And the rationale behind that is that in the context of your product marketing roles, um, you want to lead with that currently for this interim period,
Right.
but you don't want to lose the um, home care work. You want to
Yep.
keep it present.
Yep.
Putting it into volunteering kind
Down
of
here. Yeah.
culturally feels right,
Right. Right. Right.
um, but and also kind of burnishes your reputation for doing that. Continues to put this front and center in your profile, so you can continue to um, build that business, even though it is in the volunteer section.
Yeah.
But then I would add a shingle to the top of your experience section that um, relates directly to the kind of work that you want to do in your short-term um,
Yeah.
period here.
That's a good suggestion.
Uh,
And, and,
and
and
and then scroll back up to your headline for a sec.
you got it.
And I have an issue with this available for 2 to 3 month engagements,
Yeah.
because that kind of I think it kind of creates potentially a gate that you
Yeah.
don't want to create there, where someone's going to say, "Oh, well, I've got a problem. I think it's at least 6 months."
Yeah.
Right? But you might be able to solve it in two. They
Sure.
just don't
Sure.
know that. Right?
Yeah.
So rather than doing that, I would go back to some of the specifics that you were just talking about in terms of what you want to do with your consulting here, the kinds of
Yeah.
problems that you want to solve
Yeah.
specifically,
Hmm.
and make that front and center in your headline, right? So fractional product marketing leader, gaming, entertainment, tech, and then you have the rest of your 220 characters to talk about these specific areas, I would say 2, 3 areas max that you want to focus on. And then
like
in your,
go-to-market
right, in your shingle, that's where you would talk about those 2 or 3 areas in more detail and say, here's what I'm providing now. Don't say looking to provide, what I'm actually providing. No one has to know whether you're doing it or not. Providing for clients, and then list those services. The beginning, the middle, the end, the parameters of what that looks like, the challenges that you normally encounter, that you have ways of overcoming, all that kind of stuff. So you make them feel comfortable with, oh, this is a guy who's, number one, he's got the background in this area. Number two, he's attacking a problem that we have. And number three, he's figured it out. So yeah, we need to talk to him and see if what he would do for us would make sense.
Got it.
And I wouldn't put the time question on there at all. I would really focus it purely on the value, and the deliverables, the outcomes.
But you would leave fractional in there, right? Fractional product work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
I would just echo that, like in terms of the 2 to 3 month engagement, like that really is going, I feel likely
It's
will
limiting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like they have to have this exact, vision of it being 2 to 3 months, and I think the key question is, what is your willingness to, you may very well be able to help them in 2 months, but what is your willingness to do a role for, let's say it is 6 months? That might be something you need to do while you're getting First Light off the ground.
Yeah.
If you're looking for this fractional work, it might be something that you need to extend longer than you had first planned. But that would be my one comment is the 2 to 3 month engagements I would lose. I also think if it is a very short term, like it's a pretty tight window where you're looking to sort of generate some revenue.
Right.
It's almost the same comment that I had to Marty, right? It's who your targets are. I would have to think with 20-year career in video games, your lead candidates are those folks you've worked with in the past, right?
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
like I am in a similar situation, Jason, where I'm thinking about, hey, you know what? Like picking up some fractional work would be great. And I'm immediately going to, who are those people who I've worked with in the past who might need an extra pair of hands? Because they know your work, they know you, they have a comfort level with you. So it's not, this pushing the rock uphill as much as, just calling, Susan or Jack or whomever who
your old colleague, right? Yeah.
That's who I really think you want to, it sounds like that is who you really want to reach out to and, really find out, hey, how can I help?
Yeah.
The idea of going to the fractional agencies, I think sounds right on the surface. The problem there is that it may take you 2 to 3 months to get traction with those people, right? Whereas to go back to people that you've worked with, that is the ideal networking strategy to not necessarily hit them up for work, but hit them up for the people they know, right? Tap into their networks. And on your LinkedIn, you can do a little bit of a filtering on that by going to those top contacts of yours, those 20, 30, 40, 50 people, however many they are, and looking at their networks, at their first level connections, and targeting people within those groups, asking your contacts, hey, I noticed that you're friends with or you're connected to so-and-so at so-and-so company.
Yeah.
That sounds like the kind of the right place for me, the right opportunity for me. What do you think? Do you know them? Do you keep up with them? Are they just LinkedIn friends? Are they real friends? I mean, the conversation to have, but at least that kind of gets them into the momentum with you about trying to help you find that solution. Otherwise, you may encounter the typical, hey, I don't know anything, but if I hear something, I'll call you, which will never happen, right? This way, you're being more proactive about it, focusing them on something which they actually can deliver for you, which is an introduction, um, it might be more fruitful. So that's kind of
Well,
taking this through a couple of different levels deeper.
yeah, this is all really great stuff, guys. Marty, did you have something?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little different angle. You've been in video games and you put substantial effort already into home care, and
Yeah,
that's what you're interested in doing.
right.
Um, what about talking to home care agencies? Uh,
Mm,
because now you know a lot about that, and you're going to be doing something, and it would be feeding into what you're moving toward. Um,
yeah,
I'm just thinking
Good idea.
going,
Marketing is marketing on a certain level.
yeah, going to
But
video game people seems like, going backwards maybe.
but
And
Jason, you're going to be the owner of First Light, correct?
correct. Yeah.
So, and I am an Irish optimist by nature, but I'm just going to put this out there that like I don't know if I were another home care person, would I hire my future competitor like right now? So
oh,
just putting that out there.
Yeah, but no, that's a great point. But also to what Marty is speaking to, maybe there is something within First Light corporate that I can help out with.
Oh, if there is a First Light corporate for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Um,
So is this a franchise?
it is. It is.
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it, yeah. That could definitely be an opportunity.
No, and what a warm place like for that conversation because if they know you're waiting for your
Right.
license,
Yeah.
they want to help you like bridge that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Okay,
Another
guys.
comment for you, Jason. Like
Yeah.
what year at Anderson are you?
Oh, 2012, FEMBA 2012.
huh.
Okay. Because you never know when you're going to be on a call with, I don't know, like someone from the class of '02 who
Nice.
So yeah,
um,
so you guys are both out of my UCLA cohorts.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, like think about like the Anderson network as well, like
Yeah.
specifically with the video game stuff. Like I'd hit even people you don't know, but
Yeah.
from Anderson, I'd hit them up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anderson keeps a really good alumni network going.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if David Cooley is still there, but I would definitely hit him up.
Yeah. Great idea.
He is.
Yeah. David's a good guy.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, you've got your marching orders.
Yeah. Thank you so
This is
much, guys.
exciting.
This has been
Very
really
exciting.
helpful for me. Appreciate it.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So you can drop the share and then we'll go to Sonya.
Thanks so much, John. I just wanted to share some thoughts for Jason. I hope it's okay. Um, to some of his former colleagues, Jason, to reach out that people may have parents or grandparents
Wow.
that will need your future services. And then I wonder if perhaps you could make a little explainer video of what your services will provide. So it's kind of bridging, here's maybe not a video game, but maybe a trailer of what you hope to do, or just something from the heart. So
Yeah.
just wanted to share those two thoughts. Hope it's okay to do so.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Thank you, Sonia.
Mhm.
Yeah, great ideas. All right.
Thank you.
Um, who else has got some questions or thoughts to share on this topic? We seem to be being very productive today.
Oh, I have one more kind of question.
Yes, please.
In this age of AI, trying to frame the human superpower um, in the AI landscape, just really reflecting on that.
Yes. What are your thoughts or questions?
Well, I guess my questions are, I have sort of a business life, day job, and then my artistic life that is my dream and calling, a musician, inspirational storyteller, content creator, etc. And so I have a lot of skills I can offer in a job search. And a lot of the jobs that I have done are now being done by AI, proofreading, editing, even a lot of design work, graphic design. So I'm running as fast as I can, to try to keep up with skills and find that people do appreciate a personal human connection.
Yes.
So that's what I'm seeking. I'm trying to
Right.
look at AI tools.
Right.
But there's just so many of the tools, and it's launching at a breakneck speed that it's just hard to keep up with that. And then I'm questioning, well, why? Why are we being pushed to adopt and adapt all of this at such breakneck speed? Like what are we really being asked to do?
This is a big can of worms. This is a great can of worms. And I'm glad you brought this up because I think it really is very central to this question of the superpower. And so I saw an interesting article, I think it was today or yesterday, in some business publication about, I don't know if it was a release or part of an interview from someone at Anthropic who said that 90% of their coding is now being done by Claude Code internally. So the question then becomes, so what are people left to do? And the reply is that no, we need people more than ever to supervise what the AI is doing. The AI is doing it faster and giving us a lot more time to really discuss what it's doing, whether we need it, where we should use it. So the takeaway is leadership. And people were talking about this 2 years ago at the kind of the early stages of ChatGPT, that the jobs were going to be supervising the AI, and that seems to be bearing fruit. So in your case, and I think for the question of the superpower more generally, is this is now an opportunity for all of us to step up to a greater leadership role around the work that we did that was now or is now being kind of reclassified as busy work, as work that the computer can do. And it is really, in another sense, a further evolution of the role that computers have had since the beginning, where, we used to typewrite and have to, manually correct typewritten pages, and then we started using word processors. So, people would. When I got to DreamWorks, there were all sorts of debates about, do we put the storyboard artists into Photoshop? And there were purists, not the artists, interestingly, but the management who said, no, they need to continue to hand draw. And I went to the storyboard artists. I said, do you guys want to be on Photoshop? And they're going, hell yeah. So much easier for us to do this and make corrections, and we can work faster. We can deliver more quantity. We can think more about the quality of what we're doing, and we don't have to kind of worry so much about the minutia of doing it and the back and forth. So in a way, we're perhaps, exponentially at a raised level, but I think the same thing applies. So for you, I would really challenge you to think, so what are the things that I would really like to do beyond the minutia that I have had to get really good at and that really kind of defines my skill set? It's time to graduate up to something which is even more impactful. Does that land at all?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. That really helps a lot. Thank you.
And I would also offer that this is also an opportunity for you to, in the sense of the superpower, to niche even further and to really find that really leveraged intersection of your experience and your skills and the talent and the insight. on any level, whether it's thematic, whether it's contextual, whether it is, domain specific, whether it's stylistic in a particular way, dive into that level of expertise, that really deep level of expertise. Worry about the tools later. The tools you can learn. The tools are, that's the kind of crazy thing about AI, is that it is, it's as easy as kind of going, well, what I really would like to do is this. And the AI goes, oh, you mean this? And you go, no, 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 that. They go, oh, okay, great. Well, here, check this out. And you go, oh, that works. So it is a lot more intuitive than you might expect, and gives you a lot more power to function on that leadership level than you might have expected.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Harold, you had a thought? Go for it.
I did. I'm sorry. I was having problems coming off mute. Can you repeat yourself there? I thought you said something about maybe there's a demand for individuals to tell AI what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the point of this article that I was reading about Anthropic. And if Anthropic is saying it, then this is the company that's been predicting all of the disruption to the job market, saying that in their own house, where their product is rewriting or writing new code for them. The AI is writing more AI, but they are saying that they need people more than ever, and that they expect that they will hire more people because of the need to supervise this process. Because what's going on is the AI is giving them more opportunity to build more tools, to solve more problems, to get more customers. They're going to need leaders to help maintain this process. And I don't know how much you're working with AI. It needs a lot of supervision. Yeah. Unless you really know what you're doing and have experience with it, it needs help. Otherwise, it's going to send you off in a direction, and then you're going to wake up in a week and go, oh my God, what have I been doing? This is wrong.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm following you by supervision. You're not talking about writing prompts. What are you talking about then?
Well, see, writing prompts, I think the concept of writing prompts has evolved. Let's just say that. It is now about dialogue. It is now about having a conversation with this entity, this computer entity, and directing it in a way that is productive, implementing guardrails so that it stays on task, and coordinating all of the agentic support that other subprograms are bringing to the table. So you're now working with AI as an orchestra leader, working with a group of 50 musicians in front of you, all of whom have to read the music, come in at the right part, adapt to the rhythm and the cadence that you're envisioning for this performance. That is the role that I think they're talking about when they talk about supervising the AI.
So am I too far off base by saying a AI architect?
Well, I think that would go more towards the actual design and structure of the code itself. Okay. But I certainly think supervisor and manager.
Supervisor, okay.
Right. What else did they say about managers? Something stands out is that they're really making a distinction between managers and leaders. And they're seeing AI as the manager in terms of executing on a task, but they're seeing leadership or supervision of AI as the strategic guardrail, vision, goal-oriented, contextual understanding needed to make the make the software do what it can do to be valuable. Is that helpful at all?
I'm seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, but thank you. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
I think one thing, John, that's important part of this is you really need education and training and to stay up on this and to understand it. I mean, to lead it, like you said, it can be a number of programs, and so you need to know the substance of what's getting done and the tools. So it's demanding. I'm just thinking of Jason's situation, and you've just heard they're ramping up robot productions and saying it can be important in elder care. Like, so
Right.
that would replace caregivers, but you're going to need someone who really understands what an older person would need, and so that it gets programmed and handled in the robot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also think that parenthetically, there's a lot of research and dialogue that you could have with AI around your current goal of getting this fractional work. If you're not already dialoguing with it and having it do research projects for you to find out, who are some targets, what are some areas, what are new developments, what are challenges, the deep research capabilities of these tools are insane. I don't know if you've done any deep research projects, but it's just insane. I'm doing a whole curriculum refresh for my stuff, and it's all of a sudden I realize that a lot of what I've been doing kind of through my own experience and seat of the pants working with clients, there's a whole litany of academic research on training and coaching and development that I had no idea existed. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm doing something that is kind of certified by experts, for the last 50 years. I need to bring that forward. So there's some kind of crazy stuff going on with this technology. More thoughts. I think we're kind of coming up on the end, or we're kind of at time, guys. So before we go, anyone want to jump in with some final thoughts? No, I guess not. So thanks so much for sharing and joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And we will be covering networking and community building as the second of the third element. So I look forward to seeing you on that call. So have a great month, everybody.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
John.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you so
Everybody.
much.